Hey YouTube, James Michael 32 here. I've been kind of out of the hobby for a while with card collecting, and I've recently kind of got the itch to get back into it. And so this is sort of a stack of graded cards that I have that I wanted to show off. I have a lot of other non-graded autos and relics, but most of them are Cleveland Indians players, which I'm a diehard Indians fan. And so I wanted to show off today. These are all mostly non-Indians players. A couple of prospects in here, some vintage cards, some 90s cards, 80s cards. But just kind of show these off a little bit, get back into the hobby a little bit, get some conversations going. I'm actually going to be going to the National Sports Show in Chicago in a couple weeks. So if any of you are going to be there, maybe we can kind of meet up and chat about some cards. So let me get started here. The first one, this is a 2016 Topps Now Andrew Miller base relic, numbered to 10. So you can see right there. I saw this card on eBay a while ago, been watching it, debating getting it. The price was a little high, so I went back and forth with the seller a little bit to try and lower the price. It's a Gem Mint 9.5. I really loved the relic here, because it has the ALCS there. And so I just decided that I felt like I had to pull the trigger on this one when it came up. Next up is a 2016 Bowman Chrome Draft green refractor auto of Will Benson, Gem Mint 9510. It's numbered 87 out of 99. He was the Indians' first round draft pick last year, and so I don't really know if he's going to make it. He's got a lot of power. He's been compared to, I can't remember who it is, but he's been, pretty touted high school prospect. So maybe he can make it. I don't know if I'd ever sell this card because I think it's a really cool looking card. But anyway, I do have a Jason Kipnis, I guess you could call it, super collector. So these are kind of a run of a couple of Kipnis cards I have. This is his 2011 Topps Update rookie card and a Gem Mint 10. And actually, this is not the last time you're going to see the 2011 update set in this video, so kind of a little teaser. I just think Kipnis is he's kind of one of the veterans on the team now, and I've really been following him. Actually, his first walk-off hit that he had as an Indian, I was at that game, and I just kind of, from that moment, I thought he was a really just gritty player. In college, he was an outfielder, and he was called too short to be an outfielder in the MLB, and so the Indians drafted him and converted him to second base, and he took it and ran with it, and he's two-time All-Star. Struggling this year, he's on the DL right now, but still one of my favorites. And this is his 2010 Bowman Chrome base auto, Gem Mint 9510. And then I also have his gold refractor auto and a Gem Mint 9510, which is numbered to 50. And of course, being an Indians player, I cannot be without a Francisco Lindor Bowman Chrome auto. This is the refractor in a Gem Mint 9510, which is numbered out of 500. I bought this card probably right around 2011 or 2012 for around $80. And, obviously since he's become sort of a superstar in the game, this card is now worth about 400 or so, maybe 500. This is in my PC, so I think, perhaps if it goes maybe higher than that, I would sell it and get a base auto just to have in my collection. So I'm pretty proud of this one. This next one is probably one of my favorite cards. It's a 1949 Bowman Bob Feller and a BVG 7. Obviously, a Beckett Vintage Grade 7 is not the same as a PSA 7, but this card looks really great, and I'm considering sending it into PSA. I might even take it to the National with me and see what they would give it. If they give it a 7 or even like a 6.5, I might have them crack it and put it in a PSA case. It's a really cool looking card. So that's it for the Indian stuff. I'll kind of go over to some more, these are sort of rookies and prospects of guys that are not on the Indians, but that I really enjoy the cards anyway. I'll kind of run through these kind of quickly. This is a 84 Topps Don Mattingly PSA 9. Not really worth much, and I'd love to get this in a 10 one day, but had to pick this up. I picked this up a long time ago, actually. Same with this next one, which is a 83 Topps Ryan Sandberg and a PSA 9. Obviously, would love to have this in a 10 at some point, but a 9 will do for right now. Next up is a prospect, 2015 Bowman Chrome Green Refractor Willie Adams of the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a Gem Mint 9510. He is, before the season started, he was the 7th ranked prospect in MLB. He started out really slow. So he dropped to number 16 in Baseball America's top 100. But, you know, he's been called like sort of the next franchise player for the Rays. And I picked this up at a pretty decent price. So I'm hoping that he can get there, obviously. And this is a card that I would turn around and sell if he does make it and does too really well. Next up is a 1972 Topps Roberto Clemente and a PSA 7. Corners are not very great on this, but I've always thought this was a really cool card and had to pick this one up a while ago. Next is a 1990 score Bo Jackson and a Gem 10. This was a card when I was a kid growing up. I always wanted this card, and you know, I never was able to get it. I opened up a lot of score back in the day when I was a kid, and I never got this card. And so to have it now in a Gem 10, it's not worth much, but it's one of those nostalgic cards that I just think is really cool. And I love the design. I just think, you know, that kind of embodies what Bo Jackson was to football and baseball. So pretty cool card. Next is a 1989 Topps Traded Griffey Gem 10. One of these days I will get the 89 Upper Deck in a Gem 10. I have it raw, but it is not at all, it would not at all grade as a Gem 10. So this will do for now, but one of these days I'll get the Upper Deck. Next up is a 2013 Topps Heritage Nolan Arenado in a Gem 10. This guy has been raking for the past couple of years, and yes, I know he's in Colorado, so his numbers are skewed a little bit, but he is a 5-time Gold Glove Award winner, I think, 4 or 5 times, and he's going to win another one this year. And I don't know, I don't really try to collect too much modern unless it's the Indians, but I really feel like if he keeps up the pace he's on now, he's a sure bet Hall of Famer someday, already with 4 Gold Gloves. He's got 40 home runs the past 2 seasons. He's on pace for that again this year, maybe like 35. So he's kind of doing it all, and I picked this up about 2 years ago, and so this card's kind of got up in price quickly, but I'm going to hold on to this for a while. Next up is a card that I recently picked up. It's 2010 Topps Chrome Mike Giancarlo Stanton Gem 10 rookie card. It's a refractor as well. This is another guy, you know, as long as he can stay healthy, I think he's a sure bet to get in the Hall of Fame someday. So hopefully that's the case. This is a really nice looking card, and it looks really great in a PSA case, I think. Next, we've got a 1950 Bowman Yogi Berra and a PSA 6. It's a pretty good looking card, but I'm actually looking to sell it because I just kind of, well, first off, there's this really strange crack underneath the A. And so I don't really know how that got there. I don't know if it happened when it was shipped to me or what. But it's one of those cards that I got it for a pretty good price, and I'm kind of trying to flip it to make some profit and then get something, you know, a little bit more that I would want to hold on to. So next is a card that I want to flip to PSA. It is a 2015 Topps Heritage Chris Bryant. It is the action variation of him, you know, swinging. It's a Gem Mint 9.5, and with the 3 9.5s and a 10 subgrades, I feel like this card would swap over to a PSA 10. Of course, it's Chris Bryant, and it's the Cubs, and so I, you know, do not feel as fondly of the Cubs as I did before October of 2016. But Chris Bryant is a really great player, and a funny story about him, actually. He hit his first Grand Slam of his career while in Progressive Field, which is where the Indians play, in, I believe, 2015, actually. And I was right by where the ball landed in Heritage Park, which is where the Indians have all of their, like, Hall of Fame area and things like that. And at the time, I had sprained my ankle, and I couldn't really run that well. And so I ran into Heritage Park with this other guy, and we kind of both went for the ball. I didn't get there as fast because my ankle was killing me, and it was, you know, a really sharp shooting pain, and I couldn't get there. and the other guy got it, and he was pulled aside to give the ball to Bryant, and obviously he was asked what did he want, and he wanted like a signed jersey or a signed bat or something like that. So that kind of haunts me a little bit, that I could have had that ball if I wouldn't have sprained my ankle a couple of days before the game. But so kind of a cool story. Kind of disappointing for me, but one of those things that happens. Next up is a card that this is probably the card that I'm most proud of having. 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout in a Gem Mint 9.5. I picked this card up in 2013, I believe, for around $80. And it's now worth about $300. Obviously he's been injured this year, but he's Mike Trout. This card is not going to go down in value at all. And I want to flip this to a PSA 10 because I feel like it would flip. Even with the 9.5 subgrades, I've looked at it pretty closely, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be a Gem 10 with PSA, which would up the value by about $50 or $60. And I feel like this card is just going to keep going up and up as he continues to rake. Two more cards here. Last one is, or this second to last, I should say, 1951 Bowman Ted Williams in a PSA 7. I just saw this card on eBay recently. Thought it had some really good centering. There's no staining anywhere. The corners look really good, and I mean, it's Ted Williams, so I couldn't really go wrong with the price either. I might flip this card if I can for some profit, but I might also hold on to it for a couple of years and see if the price goes up. And finally, I think if you can see it, 2013 Chrome Draft, Aaron Judge, Gem Mint 9.5/10, all 9.5 subgrades and a 10. This is actually a card that I pulled out of a pack back in 2013 Bowman Chrome Draft, held on to it. Actually, I think got it graded recently, and so pretty happy with the result, obviously. This card I'm going to hold on to for a little bit. I might even try to get it pushed over to PSA, because PSA 10 Aaron Judge cards go for about $2,000. And a Gem Mint Beckett 9.5/10 auto is going for around $1,400. So PSA 10 would up this card's value by about $800. So that's what I would hope to do. I might take this to the National and see what I can do. Maybe they can grade it there for me, which would be great. So that's about it. Pretty happy with my collection overall. I've got some really good, pretty good cards that I think could up in price and up in value pretty quickly. I think this Nolan Arenado is one that I'm going to watch. It's already at around $100 right now, selling on eBay. It's pretty good PC stuff. Like I said, I'm going to be at the National in a couple weeks, hoping to maybe pick up one or two cards there. And thanks for watching. If you guys could like and subscribe, that'd be great. I'm watching all of your videos on there, and kind of inspired me to get back into the hobby. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them, and I'll get back to you. Thanks.